Next up, we have keys to success. What is keys to success? How do you define that?
Keys to success is very critical. So your keys to success is you basically sit down and identify what is it going to take to make you successful.
Right.
Is it your quality? Is it your customer service? Is it going to be like the affordability of your price? Think of all those elements that you know you need in order to be successful, and then those are going to be your keys to success. Because it should be the area of your business that you focus on. If you focus on your pricing, if you focus on the quality of service, if you focus on your promptness or your responsiveness, whatever you feel like is going to make you successful compared to your competitors, those are going to be your keys to success.
Keys to
going to get you to the top, yeah.
What about, if you don't really necessarily know how to go about being successful?
If you don't
know. You have the keys,
right.
But now you got to get to the success.
What I suggest is research. Analytically, you need to research as much as possible. So if there's anything you don't know with your business, the first thing you should do, first go through the whole thought process of figuring out what don't I know.
Right.
What do you want to do? You want to figure out how you're going to be successful? You don't know? I hate saying Google, but start with Google.
You got to start with Google, right?
Right. Start Google.
That's your quickest resource right there.
It is. It does lead you to some reputable sources.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, start with Google, and say, for instance, if you are a nail tech, you're starting your own brick and mortar company and you don't know what's going to make you successful. Basically what you need to do is research the standard. Research the industry when it comes to a nail tech. What makes the average nail tech successful? You want to look for a trend in the reviews, like people feedback from other customers and stuff. They're going to tell you what they liked, what they didn't like about their experience with other nail techs. Basically, sometimes that's enough to show you, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I don't want my appointments to run over. I don't want to only take appointments online. I want my clients to be able to call me too. So if you identify that a lot of customers, when it comes to your industry, complain about not being able to, pick up that phone and have that accessibility to you, one of your keys to success might be accessibility. You want to make yourself available to your clients. So just long story short, do that research and figure out, hey, within this industry I'm about to operate in, how can I be successful? How are all these other companies becoming successful?
It's like finding your way, and how you fit into this picture. Mm-hmm. Because 9 times out of 10, whatever you're doing, somebody else is already doing.
Right.
But, how are you going to stand out with them?
Right.
How are you going to stand out with several of them? And that's where you have to, consistently do your research and consistently be active in your approach to business.
Yeah. So basically, once you identify what those successful key points are going to be, that's going to be a lot of focal point for your team as well. Because once you start hiring people, you want them to know, look, these are my 4 or 5 or whatever keys to success. Guard it with your life. If pricing is something that you're focusing on, you want to make sure that your team know, hey, the prices that I have now are set in stone. It's going to take us to the top, so it's not going to change. If it is changeable, then you give them what those terms are, but you roll down every key point that you identify. If accessibility is your key to success, that website needs to stay active, that phone line needs to stay clear, and you need to have somebody that's on your customer service team that's going to be able to route those calls and, keep it moving, basically. So. Right. Identify them and constantly stay on that to make sure that those areas thrive. If not, your business is not going to be successful because that's where you're putting all your eggs into, basically.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So research.
Research.
Definitely.
Make it your best friend. Develop that habit.
Yes, definitely. After that research, once you identify, hey, these are my possible keys, make sure it sounds like you. Now, don't just go with some keys to success because a major corporation chose that because they may have chosen for a different reason. They may have, hidden sponsorships and partnerships that you don't know about that they're offering, or something like that that's making them successful. So make sure whatever you narrow in on, it matches what you can do successfully. If it's something that's beyond your reach, do not add that as a part of your success factor, because you will fail eventually. Hate to be so serious and so blunt, but you will fail, which is another reason why we suggest when you do your business model, whether it's your identity, your strategy, you will hear us say several times throughout these series, go with what you know, go with your vibe, go with what you're feeling for your brand and not what works for somebody else.
Because if you fail to prepare, you might as well prepare to fail.
Exactly, especially with your keys to success.